Welcome back to the channel, you guys. In this video today, we are going to be installing a wireless phone charger in our 2024 F-150 Tremor. Now, if you're in the same boat as me and you didn't end up with a wireless car charger because you didn't buy the office package for your F-150, Boost Auto has a very subtle and sleek option to get you exactly what you want if this is something you're interested in. Now, for those of you that are familiar with the Ford F-150 OEM chargers, they do take up quite a bit of room in here. They come up and they kind of sit at an angle and you lose a lot of your cubby space because of that. But Boost Auto, their charger essentially goes right in here. This is just the top cover of the mat, but just sort of give you an idea of what it looks like. Once everything's installed, it will sit right in there, and then you simply put your phone in there and away you go. This charging pad also supports fast charging at 15 watts, so it should have your phone charged in no time. There's the 3 charging coils right there, so you have to have your phone sitting kind of right over top here, and then it should charge fairly quickly. Now, will this charging pad be able to support my phone with the OtterBox phone case on? We'll figure that out in a little bit, guys. Let's go over what we're gonna need to install this and get to the installing process. So the kit itself only includes a few components. We got the wireless charging pad, we got our T-tap wiring harness, as well as this other cabling harness that we will be installing during the process. For tools, we have our electrical tape, we have our trim tool, our crimping tool, we have a 10 and a 7mm socket, and we have our impact drill as well as our drill. I got a uni bit on it, but a 3/8 drill bit will work for drilling into our center console for pushing the wire through once the time comes. So the first part of the installation, you guys, is trying to get the center console moved back. Where we're gonna start with that is this bolt right here. There's a bolt right there on the edge of the trim panel. That is a 7mm bolt. And once that bolt's removed, we can go ahead and we can just take this off by just gently pulling on it. And then we'll remove that. Now that that's off, what we can do next is go ahead and take this trim piece off right here. Now with those 2 trim pieces out of the way, we've exposed that bolt right there and a bolt right there. So we're gonna hit those with our 10mm and we'll get those out while we're here. And with those bolts removed, we'll move our seat forward and we'll move to the back. Now we'll move over to the other side and we'll repeat the process. On this passenger side there is no bolt over here, so we can go ahead right off the bat and just take this trim piece off. Just like that. Then we hit the top piece here. As you guys can tell, I don't believe in trim tools. And then we have our 10mm bolts right there and right down there in that little hole. And we move the seat forward and then we hit up the bolt in the back. And now that all those bolts are out, we can just slide this thing back. And what that does is it allows us to get in here to lift our lid out so we can drill our holes and get all of our wires terminated. So all we're gonna wanna do for our next step here is gently lift up on this and remove it from these teeth here. And we got 3 on the other side as well. There will also be a wire that we're going to need to disconnect right here. Just like so. So with all that being done, you guys, what we want to do is we want to take off these 2 wiring harnesses because right now we have no slack. We want to pull this center console back just a little bit more yet so we can get these 2 7mm bolts back here. Before we do this, guys, let's just quickly disconnect our negative on our battery terminal, and then we'll go ahead and disconnect these wire harness, and there's ones on the other side as well. So we'll take our 10mm socket, zip that off, and then there, just pull it off just like that. And then we can go ahead and we can disconnect these. And on the driver's side, we got this one right here. Now the reason why we didn't disconnect the power right to begin with is because we needed to be able to move our seats frontwards to backwards to get to the bolts on our trim panels. Once you have those removed, you can go ahead and disconnect your battery like we just did a moment ago. And with those cables disconnected, we can pull our center console back just a little bit more to get the distance we need to get to those 2 bolts in the back here. Now we should be able to pop this guy right out here. Just like that. And then don't forget to take off the wires in the back here. So now that we got our bin out, I made a little black mark right there, and that's roughly where you're gonna wanna drill your hole for your harness to go through. And that's roughly how big my hole is, about 3/8. You just need to make it as big as this end right here so you can get that guy pushed through. So once you have your charging pad in place and you have your holes drilled, you can go ahead and you can secure this with a couple of screws here. Now, there's apparently supposed to be 2 screws supplied with this kit, and I don't know if I've already misplaced them, but I cannot find them anywhere. Thankfully, I have a plethora of screws and bolts in my inventory, so I found some that will work. And they say they only come with 2, but I'm gonna go put in 3 because I have 3 of these. Okay, so that's nice and tight. It's not going anywhere. Then we can put our mat in. And it just looks very, very nice. And it looks like it's factory. So our next step is gonna be getting this little guy tied into this guy right here. And on this cable, we are gonna wanna use the yellow one here. If you look at it from this side here, we're gonna wanna tap off to the yellow and to the white wire here. So the red goes to the yellow and the black goes to the white over here. We'll get our knife here and we'll just trim back some of this insulation here. That way we can get our T-taps on. And you're gonna wanna put one on the white, like so. We'll squeeze it down with our crimping tool here. The other one on the yellow. And then it's on, perfect. And then our red goes into the yellow. Push it in, and our black goes into the white. And just like that. This was the other supplied wiring that comes with the kit. And we can plug this right into the black connector right here. This we are not going to be using, but we're going to tape it up because it has some exposed metal. So we're going to get that all nice and taped up so it doesn't touch anything and we don't end up with a short. Just like that. So all we need to do now is just grab our bin. You're going to plug it in just like that. And then all this extra cable, we can just toss it over onto the driver's side for now, and we'll tuck that all the way later. So we'll go ahead and we'll get all of our connections put back on. And then this guy here. Then we can go ahead and we can put this back into place. We can put our 2 7mm screws back in. Then we can put our center console trim back on. And then we can clip our connections back together that we previously disconnected. Just slide this in there. We're gonna push it forward. Put these guys back together as well. So let's start with our 10mm here. And with the battery reconnected, I can move my seat forward. One thing to quickly mention, don't forget to plug your cup holder wire back in because that's your key fob antenna. So if that's not plugged in, you won't be able to start your vehicle because it won't detect any key. I didn't show that in the video. I actually had to go back and do it, but there's a wire underneath your cup holder here, you guys. So make sure you connect that before buttoning everything back up. We got all our trim pieces back on, we got all our wires connected, and we have the charging pad installed. So right now everything's off. There's currently no lights on the charging pad. They do have indicator lights so you can see the status of the charging pad. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna turn on our accessory power here. And then you can see the blink there. The red light is on, which means it's in standby. It's currently not seeing anything right now. So if I go ahead and put my phone on with the OtterBox case, it does in fact see it. It's fast charging an hour till fully charged. The moment I take my phone off, it goes back to red. It doesn't sense anything's there. Never want to put devices in here, you guys. You want to make sure you don't ruin them. You just got to hold the button here for a few seconds, and then everything powers off. And then no issue there. Now you can use it like as a normal storage cubby, and that's that. So obviously it doesn't sense anything. My light's not coming on, my watch isn't coming on, and then there you go. So very nice product by Boost Auto. Very, very happy with that. We'll see how long it lasts, how long it handles the cold, and all that good stuff. But everything I've gotten so far, Boost Auto, has been top-notch quality and hasn't let me down. So I expect the same for this product as well. So while doing this install process, I kind of figured that I could probably use the same power, and all the wire we shoved up in there, I can tap off to that again yet. We'll have to see what the voltage is. But I'm gonna use that power source for all my ambient lighting in the truck as well when I do that video. Because this power source responds to all the doors opening, your truck being on, everything you would want your ambient lighting to essentially do. You know, the moment you open the door, your whole interior lights up. The moment you close it and this dies out, it goes dead. The moment you start your truck, your ambient lights come on and all that good stuff. And on that note, you guys, I hope this video helps you with your install process. It's sometimes hard to get all the camera angles and show you guys exactly what's going on, but I do my best to make everything as self-explanatory as possible. But if you have any questions, if you have any concerns, make sure you guys comment below. I always answer. I do my best to at least. And on that, thank you guys so much for being here, and I'll see you guys in the next one.